Hey everyone, welcome back to Workshop Quick Takes. Thanks for joining me again on my YouTube channel. Today's kind of a bit rainy and gloomy out here, so let's brighten things up by working on lights. These taillight fixtures are the original OE ones. I have had to modify them because of how I have routed trailer wiring on this side and bumper wiring on this side. But more importantly, on a recent trip, I had to make an emergency change of my taillights because the LEDs I had previously put in there were starting to go bad, and so the reds were beginning to flicker. In the process of doing that at an O'Reilly's over halfway across the state, I broke off one of the mounting tabs on this one. So it's still attached nice and firm, but it's a good opportunity to swap them. You can just replace them with other OE units. There are both new and used options available, but there are also aftermarket ones that change the look a little bit. These are the lights we've chosen. These are by Depot, replacement for Cherokee 97-01. They fit all of the second gen update. Okay, so here's the lights, passenger rear side, driver rear side. I checked the fitment, the holes all line up, and they've got the tabs down here on the bottom. Not entirely thrilled about the assembly quality though. I mean, I guess you get what you get for $100, but looking around the light here, on the back side here, it does look like they're sealed, but the sealant definitely did not flow through the channel the way it's supposed to, and you can kind of see that by those clear spots where it should be a continuous black line, so not great for quality. There are 4 things holding on each of these lights. 3 of them are these bolts here that can be removed with a 10mm ratchet. That there is where we got trailer wiring passing through. Maybe we did or didn't do it the best possible way, not sure, but since that is how it is in there, we're probably going to have to do the same thing again. That tab right there is supposed to be the 4th thing holding this on, and it is clearly not. Now, to get these lights off, we just need to do this. And normally that would be the end of it, but since I have this little thing right there, I'm going to get one more little bolt driver, remove that, and then this housing is free. I don't even know what the original bolt size would be here, but it looks like I can get this one out with a 7mm. And that free and clear is one fixture. One more to go. Again, same 3 bolts, just mirror imaged. Guess that one's ready to go too. Oddly enough, this one wants to be an 8. You can ignore that there. That is not part of the factory wiring. That's an add-on accessory. In any case, second fixture free. Okay, I just took another look at my options and decided to go ahead and reroute this one down through the trim piece here. So, drilled a little hole there. But that means I don't have to modify this light at all. It will just go back into place like normal. Over here, however, I don't have that option because I didn't use this location to bring through my revised cabling. I brought it through over here. So it has to go down under the light, but that's only going to be one small hole underneath rather than one large hole on the side like happened on the other one. So I think that'll work. Okay, so here's the lights. Now to prevent them from breaking the way the original ones did, I've made one additional change. Here on the bottom, where this goes in, I've ground off part of it and then just given it a light sanding to smooth the plastic. That removes some of the lip that goes down into this rubber thing here. And then applying a bit of lubricant, in this case Sil Glide, I should be able to just pop them in and out much more easily without as much risk of breaking this off because that's a terrible design, but that's Jeep. The other thing these lights came with is a pair of orange lamps, which you need for the turn signals because obviously on the original Jeep, this is an orange lens, this is a red lens, this is a white lens, and you just put a white 3157 lamp behind each of these and away you go. But in order to switch over to this smoke design, you do need an orange light in there so that your turn signal is orange. In this case, we previously LED converted, so here is the orange lamp for the turn signal, and here is the white lamp for reverse, and here is the red lamp for the brake light and corner marker. Let's go ahead and get a bit of Sil Glide on this. Other than modifying this tab, I was able to make no changes to the lamp fixture. What I did instead is I looked at my trailer wiring output here and I just rotated it down so that it goes past the lamp and it'll overlap here on the corner, which isn't terrible. Here's one more little change I'd like to make to this, however, just so it sits a little better, and that is to take some of this rubber weather stripping and just put a little bead along here to help provide some reinforcing support. I do want to get right up to the screw hole though, because otherwise I'm going to have a problem with it applying too much tension. So I think if I put a strip from here to here, okay, so now I just need to get each of these lights in, and let's see how they line up. Huh. Not great, but it's in. And then that one goes sideways. Looking down there, you can see where this is just going to pop in. Hopefully, yeah, okay, that was much gentler, except we're upside down. And backwards. Okay. Now I need to do the same thing for the one that goes on this side here. I've already made the same modification here. I'm going to put the weather stripping on it and the sill glide. Just like that. Add the sill glide over here for lubricant. All right, let's see how these line up. Large and small, so I really ought to turn farther than that. What's going on? It's not. That one doesn't turn on as far as it should, but whatever. That goes on like that. That one goes on like that. Okay, so that makes sense. All three of those in a line. And then, real close and personal, this is where that's going to pop into that seal. On this side, everything should line up. Feel the weather stripping compressing, which is fine. Okay, that's one installed, and since we've already prepped this one, we just need to see if the light's going correctly. Okay, well that's wacky. Huh. This one too? Yep. Well, more of that amazing quality control. Please tell me I got that backwards somehow. No, that's where it goes in. Well, whatever. And now looking down again, we've got that same little grommet right there. We've got the piece that we trimmed, and it should just pop right in, and it do. The only weird one over here is I do have this light, this wire coming down for my lights underneath, and it needs to go through this little corner right here. And it looks like it do. Okay. Last thing we need to do today is just make sure all the lights still work and come on the way they're supposed to. So let's just start with the hazard lights. That's an easy check. And there they are. Gray smoke, but when the lights come on, bright orange. I like it. Next, let's just pull the light switch, see if the parking lights come on. There they are. Both working. Press the brakes. All right, bright red on both sides. So now we just need to check the reverse lights. Okay, we're good. That's our brake light swap. And with the LEDs, it looks nice and intense. Don't know how long they'll last. It's a $100 pair on Amazon right now and a few other places, but I got it with reward points from the credit card. So if they do break, I'm not going to feel as bad as if I bought them brand new for that price, but they look good. There's a couple other options. Some people like the smoked cherry red that are also available from Depot. And of course, you can always get OE replacements all day long if that's what you prefer. But either way, job done. That's how you either replace a broken tail light, swap your bulbs, or do an LED swap, which we've also covered in more detail in another video on this channel that you can watch. One additional modification I've never really explained before is this third brake light. You can buy these complete assemblies all day long off of eBay, Amazon, wherever. They're actually not that expensive. They're also not that high quality, but that's fine. It's easy to replace if something happens to it. But this one here has 4 red LEDs across the back side of it there. One useful modification I made to the screws was adding those little rubber washers. I got at Ace Hardware on them. That way it helps take some of the strain off of that connection. The way this hooks up, I've actually got rubber weather stripping around it, but it has a little plug connector. The plug connector just duplicates the plug on the original factory light bulb. So that's just all tucked back in there, and I added some tape around it just to keep it from popping right out. The main thing on this is, I believe it is polarity sensitive, so you need to plug it in both ways and make sure it's working before you seal it up and be done with it. The other thing you might have seen on the back side of there is I improved the foam weather stripping considerably because the OE one was a tiny little gasket that didn't fit very well, and so water would run back down in the lift gate. You don't want that. Hey everyone, that was another episode of Workshop Quick Takes. Thanks for joining us today. Hopefully that gives you some ideas on ways you could go out and customize and modify your car. But before you do that and possibly get yourself in trouble, a quick word on the lighting laws. Lighting laws vary between countries, and in a place like the United States, they even vary between states. I don't know what kind of restrictions you might be under. Here in the United States where I am, generally vehicles that are sold as new have to conform to whatever the current applicable federal regulations are for that year. But any changes or modifications you make are then subject to the local state laws, and sometimes even cities will have laws as well. Based on all the lighting laws I've read in the past, it pretty much follows the federal requirements. Your brake lights and parking lights need to be red. Your turn signals need to be either red or yellow, because yes, here in the US, we didn't follow the European tradition of standardizing turn signals on yellow. So some vehicles are one way, some vehicles are the other. Both are usually legal, and reverse lights have to be white. Also, you need to have some sort of patch on the rear of the vehicle. It doesn't have to be on the lighting fixture itself, but it needs to be somewhere of a certain minimum size that is a retroreflector. That way, if the vehicle's lights are off at night, maybe it's off the side of the road or something, oncoming cars that have their headlights on will get a reflection off of that and see that it's there. The depot lights seem to meet all those requirements from what I can tell. They do in fact have a Department of Transportation or DOT certification number on them. Who knows if that's legit or if it's a Chinese fake? I don't know. But if you do a mod like this, you're kind of on your own for what your liabilities might be. So play safe, play smart, have fun, and we'll see you again next time, whenever that is. Has anyone seen my phone?